Hi, everybody. Welcome to, I don't even know what episode we're on, but we're on some episode on our GLP-1 Support Squad Body, Mind, Spirit group. I'm so happy to have you here. Um, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with this weight release journey. I'm overwhelmed with life. I'm overwhelmed with work. I'm overwhelmed with taxes that were due 7 months ago. I'm just overwhelmed. And are you overwhelmed? And you know what? We had a full moon yesterday. Well, didn't we? Or the day before, something like that. I wonder why that's happening. But anyway, I am just grateful to be here. And thank you for coming along on our journey as well. I'm just going to basically sit in the background because my head is exploding. If you might have seen our last episode with Alyssa and myself, where all of my organs tested great, my liver's doing great, my pancreas is doing great, my kidney, guess what wasn't doing great? My brain, because it's going boom, boom, boom. So anyway, we're calm now. We're calm. And I'm just going to turn this over to the amazing Kris Ferraro and the incredible Alyssa and let them take it. And I'm just going to mute myself and I'm going to sit here and look pretty because that's what I do.
And you do it so well.
Thank you.
So I was sharing with both Alyssa and Kara before that I've had some hurtful things said to me recently. People say things sometimes intentionally to be hurtful. Sometimes people say things and don't even intend it, but it lands in a particular way that can be painful. And when you're somebody who's had a weight issue, it certainly offers up a lot of opportunities for other people's opinions, their insights, their wisdom, the special diet secret that they know about and that you need to know about. I've had people offering all sorts of unsolicited advice for my entire life. It gets really old. Probably that's why I give advice to people now myself. I had to turn it around. And so I thought that we could do some tapping on anything hurtful that someone has said to you recently. And the reason why we want to use something that's recent is we want something that's fresh, that still has a current sting or a charge to it. We also don't want to work on deep childhood wounds. This is not the appropriate venue to be able to do that. That's stuff that you work on with a practitioner or work on with a trauma informed person out there. I want you to pick something that's recent, and it could be something about the medicine. Lots of things I'm hearing that people are saying, oh, to someone who may be using Ozempic or Wegovy or one of the other medications, how dare you? You're taking this out of the hands of diabetics and they can't get the medication that they need. Let's just little say right now that Wegovy is only for weight loss. So if you're on Wegovy, you're not taking the medication out of anybody's hands who's diabetic. Please know that. But sometimes we don't know. And so people can say stuff about the medication. People can say, well, why are you doing that instead of doing it the natural way? Why are you doing that instead of doing diet and exercise? And what some people may not be aware of is that diet and exercise does come along with these shots. It certainly has for me. And people may have said something to you. They might say, well, you're taking this medication. I thought that you were going to look a lot skinnier by now. Or you don't look like the people on TV. Or are you getting the results that you thought you were going to? Or maybe they just ask you invasive questions. Oh, does this mean you're nauseous all the time? I'm not nauseous at all, ever. I'm not on this medication. But there's a lot of stuff in the media, and there's people that are not taking these medications that may have some ideas about them. And they may just be curious or inquisitive, but in a way that feels invasive. So I'm going to ask you all to think of something recently that was said to you that was hurtful. And by the way, may not be weight related at all. Could be something else entirely different. It could be something else that somebody insulted you, or someone criticized you, or someone embarrassed you in a meeting at work. So take a moment to identify what that thing is. I've got mine all ready to go. And when you identify that, it's good to start with an intensity rating. And so as you relive that recent memory of that being said, that hurtful thing is being said to you, I want you to see it like you're watching a video, like you're watching a reel. I want you to hear it. I want you to experience it. And then identify on a scale of 1 to 10 how painful, anger inducing, sad it's making you at this moment in time while you're thinking about it. Not when at the moment that it happened, how it is right now for you. And mine is, wow, still a 7. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm still pretty high up there. And I also want to say that high intensity ratings are not necessarily bad in tapping. We often find if you have a higher intensity and it's fresh, that bringing down the intensity happens faster. Whereas if you have something that's a 2, it can be hard to identify and get in touch with the energy that's connected to that. So I'm going to leave some gaps in our tapping. And when I put that gap in, you'll know where it is. I want you to hear, see, feel what happened when that was said to you, because it's going to be specific to each of us. Okay. So we're going to start as always tapping on the hand. I'm using my Healy, by the way. That's why I have the wrist things on. So
You want me to echo you?
yeah, please.
Okay.
That
Okay.
would be good because the
All right.
timing on it makes it easier.
Okay.
Even though I'm really hurt,
Even though I'm really hurt,
someone said this to me.
someone said this to me.
And this is the time to hear, see that, say it, repeat it. For just right now,
For just right now,
I'd like to desensitize this painful saying
desensitize this painful saying
and get centered once again.
and get centered once again.
Even though someone I care about said something hurtful to me,
Even though someone I care about said something hurtful to me,
and what they said was this:
and what they said was this.
for just right now,
For just right now,
I'm tapping on it
I'm tapping on it
because I'd like this feeling about it to change.
because I'd like this feeling about it to change.
Even though recently someone I love said this,
Even though recently someone I love said this,
and it really hurt.
and it really hurt.
It scared me.
It scared me.
It made me angry,
It made me angry,
frustrated,
frustrated,
and I wish it had never happened.
and I wish it had never happened.
For just right now,
For just right now,
I'm in touch with the feelings that I have about it.
I'm in touch with the feelings I have about it.
I'm tapping on it in this group.
I'm tapping on it in this group.
I'm yawning. That means I'm clearing even while I'm demonstrating here. And I'd really like to neutralize this now.
And I'd really like to neutralize this now.
And before we even go into the body points, let's just take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, good. There's something rising up there. Okay, good. We're going to start on the eyebrow points. It's where the eyebrow meets the bridge of the nose. I'm really hurt.
I'm really hurt.
Side of the eye. It really hurt to hear that.
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 And we're going to stay here under the eyes. This is an anxiety point. This represents the stomach meridian.
Mhm.
And mine, yours, whoever may be tuning in the future, let's just hang out a little bit here. And while we're on this anxiety point, I'm going to encourage you to rehear, re-listen, re-see that experience. So play that 5-second, 10-second reel in your mind of what was said and who said it. Good. Under the nose. I can't believe they did that.
I can't believe they did that.
Chin, it really hurt.
It really hurt.
Collarbone. And there's a part of me that's really angry about it.
And there's a part of me that's really angry about it.
And I add in the center of the chest point. That's the thymus thump. That really upset me.
That really upset me.
And stay on that center of the chest, right on the sternum. Let's see, everybody can see. This is a good point for shock. It shocked me.
It shocked me.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that.
Okay. Good. Underarm point. It really hurt.
It really hurt.
I can't believe they did that.
I can't believe they did that.
Top of the head. This really hurt.
This really hurt.
And at the same time,
And at the same time,
I am remembering
I am remembering
it's so much more about them than about me.
it's so much more about them than it is about me.
Okay, now we're going to do a silent round. And what we're going to do on this silent round, I'm going to call out the points. I want you to rehear, re-see what that person said. So you can either do it from the perspective of you being in your own body and viewing it, or you can look at it like somebody was filming you with their phone at the time, okay? And play it like a 10-second reel on repeat. And we're going to bring down some of the intensity around this. Okay, so everybody create your little reel. If you're an auditory person, make sure you hear what they're saying. If you're visual, see it unfolding. If you're kinesthetic, feel what's happening in your body as you remember this recent memory. Okay, good. Let's go to the beginning of the eyebrows and just re-experience that. Excellent. And let's go to the side of the eye point here. And if you can, let's alternate this point back and forth. Alternate here, back and forth. Helps to break up patterns. Hear what was said, see what was said, feel what was said. Good. Underneath the eyes. Again, just keep seeing, hearing, and feeling it. Like on a loop. Excellent. Under the nose and continue. Chin. Good. Collarbone. Center of the chest. Under the arms. And top of the head. And keep tapping on the top of the head, and let's add in some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Excellent. And let's go back to the side of the hand just for a minute. We're going to keep tapping, and I'm going to encourage everyone to revisit that recent memory and see if the intensity rating has changed. Wow, mine has gone down dramatically. Mine was a 7, and I'm down to about a 2. So even in just that couple of minutes, this shows you how quickly EFT can collapse the uncomfortable emotions we have about something. Did either of you experience a drop? Okay, good. Excellent. So we're going to do a positive round. We're going to bring ourselves back into the present, not into that thing that was said yesterday or last week or a month ago. We're going to remind ourselves and our psyches that we are in the here and now and that that is past. Okay, so let's come up to the beginning of the eyebrows. That was then,
That was then,
and it does not define me.
and it does not define me.
Side of the eye. Sometimes people just don't know what they're saying.
Sometimes people just don't know what they're saying.
Under the eye. And even though I have no control over what others say,
And even though I have no control about what other people say,
I do have control over my own perception,
I do have control over my own perception,
and I can bring down painful emotions
and I can bring down painful emotions
whenever I need to.
whenever I need to.
Under the nose. That was then,
That was then,
and this is now.
and this is now.
I bring myself back into the present moment.
I bring myself back into the present moment.
Chin. I'm open to letting this go.
I'm open to letting this go.
Yes, it was hurtful,
Yes, it was hurtful,
but I don't want it to continue to hurt me.
but I don't want it to continue to hurt me.
Collarbone. I'm bringing back my power.
I'm bringing back my power.
Only I know the truth about me.
Only I know the truth about me.
Center of the chest. That was then, and this is now.
That was then, and this is now.
In this moment, I'm safe.
In this moment, I'm safe.
Under the arms. That was then.
That was then,
And this is now.
and this is now.
And I am safe.
And I am safe.
It's safe to relax and let this go.
It's safe to relax and let this go.
I'm letting this go.
I'm letting this go.
I'm clearing this energy.
I'm clearing this energy.
And I'm coming back into the present moment
And I'm coming back into the present moment
and trusting that I am safe
and trusting that I am safe
and that all is well.
and that all is well.
Nice. Let's finish up with a nice couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. So, a nice little tip that I can offer to people is that you could do a little review in the evening of your day of maybe uncomfortable things you heard, said, experienced, and you can journal them out. Just write on a page or two of that someone said this, I saw that meme that was really upsetting, I got cut off in the car. Just kind of like do an unloading of your day and tap through while you read what you wrote. I got cut off, that happened. Someone at work said this, that woman in the grocery store gave me a dirty look. What was her problem? Whatever's going on. And it's a good way of just kind of cleansing the day, because often what I find with anxiety and depression and other mental health issues, I don't think of them as mental health, I think of as emotional well-being. Often energetically, what I see as an energy healer is it's like a log jam of too much unprocessed emotional stuff, right? So you got all these logs of unprocessed emotions that are trying to get through, and they jam up, right? And when you have that jam in the energy field, it shows up in a variety of different ways. So developing a little practice of just tapping through. It doesn't matter what the words are. This is such an important point in tapping. It doesn't matter what the words are, just as long as they're your words. So use your words to describe your experience and tap through and clear out each day. And then sometimes when the big things happen, you find they don't impact you the way that they used to, because you don't have a whole bunch of clogged up energy of unprocessed emotions. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Alyssa.
Wow, that was that was really powerful. Um, my thing was around, I think like 6 or 7. And then after it went down to 2. So tapping is one of my favorite tools, and to be able to do it here with Kris is just amazing. It makes like after this, the rest of my day is like so amazing. I feel like after I do tapping, it's like something that I feel like we should be doing every day, right? Instead of like just when we have like something bad going on. It's so good to just like cleanse the energy. We have so many interactions all day long that we don't realize how that might affect us, and like maybe holding on to things that are not ours to hold on to. So yeah, I love tapping. So I'm going to talk about like overwhelm and stress, and I'll talk about my patients a little bit, but I will also talk about my personal life. I am not taking, a peptide. I'm not on that, but I do have a lot of stress right now in my life. I am a single mom to a 4-year-old toddler who he's amazing, but he is a toddler. He is a boy. He's very active. So I navigate that on a daily basis. I have my own holistic practice. So I have to navigate, just business. I have, hiring people and dealing with that and training people. And I am, managing all those things, as well as I am currently in the process of buying a house, my first house, which I am like, I am just so an overwhelm of like happy overwhelm with buying a house. I've been in the process of looking for houses, I would say for at least like 4 years, like actively looking for a house 4 years. Um, you know, and it's just like the way, everything happens for a reason. I do believe that. But it was just frustrating, in the process of looking for a house when I really wanted one, and finally found the perfect house for me and my son. And we will be close to the beach. And the beach is one of me and my son's like healing place. We both went through a health journey. I'm not going to really get into it, but yeah, him and I together have been through a health journey. Yeah, and the beach brought us so much healing. And yeah, so I'm just so excited to be close to the ocean and the sand and help ground us during this transition. So I have a lot on my plate right now. I'm managing multiple people. I'm managing my household. I'm managing my child, school, and all the things of being a mom, right? Being a mom is in itself is one of the hardest jobs. And yeah, so what some of the things that I am doing to help myself, this past week, the full moon energy really got to me. I almost like, was it today's Thursday? Yeah, Tuesday, I almost felt like I was going to have a nervous breakdown. And then I just had to like re-ground myself into like, I had to tell myself like, Alyssa, you are safe. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like all these things spinning around us, and like, but we are safe. So just like I had to remind myself like I'm safe, like I am, protected, like everything is working out. So I actually, one of my favorite tools is the Healy. This thing, this thing has literally prevented me from having a nervous breakdown in the past few months, and just like overall stress, the daily stressors of life. But when you're when you have a lot of responsibility on yourself, sometimes it can eventually like you can manage it for so long, and then eventually you'll kind of like crash. So this has been number one, my game changer that I use multiple times a day to help ground myself. Another thing that I do on a regular basis is I do tapping. Like Kris did, I do EFT. I try to do it every single day. As I said, when I do it, I notice my day it just goes so much better. I'm more present in motherhood. I'm present just with my patients and more grounded. So that's another tool that I really utilize. And also grounding, like like a lot of these, like there's so many free things. I always hear people say like, well, it's so expensive to be healthy, but it's really not. Like we have to look and utilize the things that we have that are free, and going outside, grounding yourself in the earth. If you live by the ocean, go to the beach. Right now it's like if you live in New Jersey, we don't have to pay to go to the beach anymore, right? So it's free. If you live somewhere else, I'm sure you don't pay to go to the beach, but go, if you live by the water, like go to the water, ground yourself, get connected with nature, ground yourself, get sunshine. Like the sun is actually a healing tool we don't use. Going out in the morning with your, go bare feet, not wearing any kind of sunglasses or anything, get that sunlight into your eyes. It's actually very healing. It actually boosts something called your mitochondria, which is the battery of every single cell of your body. So just by utilizing the sun, you actually can boost the energy of your cells, right? The sun is free, right? There, you don't have to take a supplement for the sun. And that is not with sunscreen, right? We're not, if we use sunscreen, we're not going to be getting these benefits. So that's why you can go early in the morning, right? Where the UV index is not like high, where you're going to get like a sunburn if you're more prone to sunburns. So those are some of my favorite, that's like my favorite tool to utilize, right? And that's completely free, right? Going outside, ground yourself, go in nature, right? If you live near like a stream or a body of water or, trees, grass, like just get yourself out. And guess what? If you have children, you're like, well, but I have kids. Kids, it's even better for children. Like get them out in nature. If they're having a hard day, get them out into nature and connect them with the earth. Children are very much connected to the earth, I feel like more than we are, just because we're so like taught that like, we got to be busy and we got to do this. And so just like grounding yourself back to the earth and and then breathing, right? Doing deep breathing, doing meditations. These are all free, right? You can go on YouTube, you can search certain breathing techniques, you can search meditations, you can search EFT tapping videos specific to something that you're dealing with on YouTube, completely free. And also another thing that I really enjoy is doing yoga, and that really helps move energy too, right? Because energy can get stuck in different places and it just really moves energy. Once again, you can get them completely free. You go on YouTube, you find, yoga videos and you'll find it. And another thing that I do personally to just help myself with this overwhelm is go to the gym. So I like to lift weights and exercise because you actually will increase your hormones or your positive endorphins when you exercise. So most people say that when they go to the gym, they actually feel better. So if you are in a state of overwhelm, making some time for yourself to do something special. And it could be it doesn't have, you don't have to pay for it, right? It could be something free, but just setting that time to do something for yourself, right? If you're a mom or a caregiver, you're always doing something for others, right? And we need to focus back on ourselves. So those are just some things. Also, getting in the bath is another thing that I love. You can do like Epsom salt bath. You can put some like essential oils in there. But just in general, so the patients that I see who have like a lot of stress and they're pretty overwhelmed, it really taxes the adrenals. So the adrenals are these little glands that sit right above the kidneys. And these are your stress glands. So stress glands, they will release cortisol, right? I know there's like a lot of on social media now, there's a lot of buzzwords about like, oh, cortisol, cortisol belly, cortisol this. If you have cortisol, you have these symptoms. And this is your stress hormone, and your body can, back to the weight loss, right? Your body can hold on to weight if you're in a chronic state of stress, right? You may say, I hear this all the time when people say to me, like, oh, I ask how much stress they have, and they're like, oh, like, it's like, oh, 6. And then once we start, helping their organs, their body, they didn't realize how much stress they were under until we helped support their organs so that they didn't feel as stressed, right? Stress is common, right? We all have stress in our life, but how our body will handle the stress is important. So, a lot of these people are depleted, right? We're depleted of nutrients, we're depleted of minerals. So minerals are a really, really important thing that I recommend taking. I believe that is in my peptide bundle that that I put together, which is on my supplement store. But also just making sure you're drinking enough fluids, right? We want to really make sure we're hydrating our body. Yeah, and eating clean food, right? If we're back to the depletion, if we are eating food, like a lot of processed food, right? You can still lose weight with eating processed food, yeah, but we're depleting our body of vital nutrients, right? We make sure we're eating, you know, grass-fed meats and, you know, organic fruits and vegetables. This is really important because when we eat food in a can, in a, you know, in a box, in a bag, this is highly processed and it's basically just chemicals. Like most of that is not even actual food. So yeah, those are just some tips to help overall with overwhelm and just what I'm doing. Right. You know, also like making a plan for your day, like writing down a list of like a schedule so you know like you can make specific time to do certain things. But also sleep. If you are in a state of overwhelm and you are not sleeping, that's when I find most people crash, just because they're because when we're sleeping, we're actually healing. So if you're not getting good rest, this can create even more overwhelm. So that's the one thing I have going for me right now. I get good sleep, so I'm grateful for that. But yeah, so that's just some of the things that I'm working on.
That was great, Alyssa. And that was great, Kris. I am so relaxed right now. And even though I am in overwhelm, but I'm not because I'm so relaxed, but I do have a lot to do. And I'm like, maybe I'll just go take a nap because sleep is really important. So now that I'm so relaxed, and then can you imagine that I'll wake up in complete overwhelm because I did nothing, but it's okay. And you know what? Another tool is as we build our channel and as people subscribe, they can come do the tapping for free here with the best in the planet, Kris Ferraro, right? The more tapping we get going, the longer we're doing this forever. So they'll have that, and maybe, and then soon we'll have me doing my workouts on the vibration plate. There's my Healy ending. And then we'll just keep adding to our links, like a great yoga class that we found on YouTube that we like, or something like that. Or Alyssa can teach us her yoga class or something. Maybe we'll all just go in person at the new house and we'll do a yoga class. Wouldn't that be fun? So anyway, so speaking of which, please like us, please subscribe to our channel. We are going to be launching as soon as Alyssa moves to her new house and we get it together and it's fall and we're all caught up. We're going to have a huge grand opening, but hopefully you've already joined us now. And if you're just joining in now, catching up, you're doing a binge. You're doing like a binge stream on all of our, oh my gosh, how fabulous. I'll have to do that. That should be fun. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Kris. Thank you, Alyssa. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.